Good evening and thanks for joining us. There is a tentative move being made that could lead to the end of the 14-day quarantine period for travelers coming into Canada. The federal and Alberta governments are launching a pilot project being tested in Alberta that will allow Canadians returning to the country to take a COVID-19 test on arrival. If they test negative, they will not need to quarantine, though they will need to have a second test 6 to 7 days later. Alberta's premier, who himself is self-isolating because one of his ministers has tested positive, says it's time to return to normal, safe travel. And the airlines agree. Redmond Shannon has our top story tonight.
It's a day WestJet's CEO has waited 8 months for.
It's not an overstatement to say that today's announcement is actually the first piece of good news we have received as an airline since February the 29th, when I sat on a Sunday afternoon watching our bookings get outstripped by cancellations.
Alberta Premier Jason Kenney believes this new testing plan will help get the province's economy moving again.
We cannot turn our back on the travel industry, the tourism industry, and the Albertans whose lives have been thrown into upheaval as a result of the pandemic.
Starting November 2nd, people arriving into Alberta from abroad can voluntarily take a COVID-19 test at Calgary Airport or the main US land crossing. They must then proceed into a 14-day quarantine as before. If the test comes back negative, they can leave quarantine. However, they must provide a second test on day 6 or 7 and must not visit high-risk settings in that 2 weeks. Alberta is also rolling out advanced pre-departure tests for people who plan to travel abroad. On Tuesday, Europe's busiest hub of London Heathrow introduced a rapid 1-hour COVID test for people flying to Hong Kong.
It's about knowing that you're safe before you get on. Otherwise, if you land in the destination country and you did test negative, then you'll be put into an isolation.
This could all inform the future of air travel. Toronto's Pearson Airport is investigating the use of rapid pre-departure tests too, and trialled tests for arriving passengers last month. But some experts say testing everyone, especially people coming from low infection countries, is a waste of precious resources.
Now we have lots of community transmission that is local and homegrown. So allowing another travel case into the mix may be a drop in the bucket relative to what's actually going on in a given location.
The programme at Calgary's airport could soon expand to Edmonton, with Canada's other international hubs watching closely too. Redmond Shannon, Global News.